I'm doing this video for Quantum Eraser. I watched just maybe 5 minutes of a debate he had. The file was a debate between Quantum Eraser, Nathan Oakley, versus Ruhi and somebody else, I can't remember. But they started out, this other guy started out and mentioned retrograde motion, and Quantum Eraser went off. Observation has no place in science. You don't do science by observation. Observation is nothing. Okay? And boy, that just got me all really upset. If you want to look at the definition of science, this is from the Encyclopedia Britannica. It says science is any system of knowledge that is concerned with the physical world and its phenomena, and that entails unbiased observations and systematic experimentation. In general, a science involves the pursuit of knowledge covering general truths or the operations of fundamental laws. Okay? So that is the definition of science. Has observation right in there. Don't tell me that observation has nothing to do with science. And let me show you one more thing. The scientific method. If you look up the scientific method, which I know that Nathan Oakley considers him some kind of scientific method expert, and probably the rest of you think that you know the scientific method and that you know how it's used. Well, the very first step in the scientific method is observation. This is before you do your hypothesis or whatever. It's observation. Then you ask a question, and then you start developing your hypothesis. A hypothesis is the questions that you ask that you're going to have to prove by experimentation. So generally, when I've done experiments, we have two hypotheses. You have a null hypothesis, which is status quo, the way things are now, and you have the alternative hypothesis, which is some change, a difference in the way things are. And this can be applied to just about anything that you have a question about. And I just don't understand why you flat earth idiots can say, oh, that's not scientific method because that's looking at stars, or that's not scientific method because it's geology and they don't do scientific method. Well, you're wrong. You're wrong about both of those. And I can prove that you're wrong if you're so inclined to see that they are. There you go. The last thing I want to say to you guys, all of you guys, Daniel Pratt, Quantum Eraser, Nathan Oakley, Sleeping Warrior, all you guys. A hypothesis is different than a prediction. Okay? They sound the same. Sometimes they look the same, but they're not. Okay? A hypothesis is the questions that you're trying to differentiate by your experiment. So I'm going to do some kind of experiment and come up with is it different or is it not different? Okay? Then when I get that all done, I have scientific data that I have taken. I have observations that I've taken. All of that is recorded, and I can take that data and make a prediction. So you look at, let's say, 100 years of lunar eclipse data and how it works when the lunar eclipse shows up. And from that hypothesis and the experiment of collecting the data of the moon eclipse, you can predict what the next lunar eclipse is going to be, or the next lunar eclipse. That is a prediction. That is where prediction comes in. It has nothing to do with your hypothesis. You're not going to throw out hypothesis and say, this is my prediction of what's going to happen. You don't do that. If you're doing that, that's whatever fallacy it is that Nathan Oakley does. Then one other thing I wanted to say is, for Quantum Eraser, you guys get these fallacies in your head and you throw out all these fallacies as fast as you can to try to confuse the other person. So you get the guy confused, he's frustrated and doesn't know how to answer all that. And so basically I'm going to say shame on you for deliberately using that as a tool to win an argument when it has nothing to do with the science. You didn't even try to address retrograde motion. All you did is blah 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 about fallacies and figure that is the answer to that hypothesis, is that, you're spouting this fallacy, and the next fallacy you're going to spit out this fallacy, because I've read your mind and I know what the next fallacy you're going to use is. So I just dare you guys to try to do a video or a debate or something without using fallacies. There are times when people use fallacies. They accidentally say something, or they've gone off on a trail and used a fallacy. But I can just guarantee you that just as much as a globe earther uses a fallacy, flat earthers use more. I've seen it time and time again. Flat earthers just only want to use fallacies with globe earthers, and they want to say that they didn't use any kind of fallacy. So this is my last video for today. I hope this has gotten my irritation out of my system, but I just dare some of you, Quantum Eraser or Nathan Oakley, how about a little debate with somebody that knows what they're doing or knows about these science facts? You just get somebody that's easy pickings, and then that keeps you on track with your viewers. So I look forward to hearing from you, Nathan Oakley, Quantum Eraser. Nathan, apparently you do get away from your microphone occasionally and do a debate. That file was just recent, so why don't you do a real debate with a real person and a moderator? So I hope you guys understood what I'm saying, and I look forward to making the next video.